Hello, and welcome to Business with Smith Co. Hello, and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. Today we're going to be talking about, new ideas. Ideas for existing businesses, both internally and externally. So let's dive in. So one source of internal ideas for an existing business would be brainstorming. A business can mix staff from different departments, from creative idea sessions. Everyone is encouraged to offer any suggestions they can think of in an environment where no idea is seen as waste, as more suggestions spark more ideas. Because, it makes sense. If someone has an idea, then somebody else can improve on it, and, when you have that mix of things, obviously, that's generally with bigger businesses. If a business is existing and has, one to very few employees, then obviously that will not be the same thing. But you can still work like that, which is that, you can have that sort of area where you've got staff bouncing ideas off each other, and that does benefit the area. It makes it easier to develop ideas. It makes it easier because you might be able to improve an idea, but you might not be able to think of an idea that's actually good. So obviously, it would be illegal to take someone's idea and improve upon it. If you're, one of these copyright-wise and patent-wise, if you just take someone's idea and improve upon it in the general world, and you set that idea and you try and sell it yourself, then that's you breaking the law, and morally, and in the law would generally look down on that. Maybe not, but it depends. I would say that that would be the route. I'm not a lawyer, so maybe that might not be the route. Maybe you would have won that. You might win that case, but at the end of the day, that would be really the area that you're going down. But if you're able to bounce ideas off each other, then the product can improve, or the service idea can improve, and there's no need to have any problems like that. So it does benefit that way, because it means people can, improve ideas, and you can actually start to have ideas, because oftentimes businesses, they may be successful, but the products may be, not as good as. It doesn't mean that the customers they'd have more money, but it just means that maybe the customers will be happier, and happier customers, they're, that's better. Obviously, if any of you aren't happy, apologies. There may be 0 views in this video, in which case, apologies to the 0 people. But if there are more than one or more, then and you aren't happy with this video, apologies about that. I apologize about that. Anyway, the next idea that's internal is research and development. A business may have a specific department. A lot of big businesses do that work on discovering new products or improving an existing one to extend the product's life cycle. It aims to find out the next best thing to try and stay ahead of competitors, or just to stay with them. Don't fall behind, because, especially with some businesses, if your business isn't very likable because it takes advantage of workers, for example, a certain online kind of marketing company, making people, go to the bathroom bottles and that sort of thing, that doesn't really inspire customer loyalty. Obviously, they do have a lot of customer loyalty because they're, actually, the reason behind they're actually kind of odd, and maybe we'll get that in a different video. But anyway, the point is that this is the kind of thing where you have a research and development department, and for example, pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, which is obviously increased in the area since their recent, not recent, it's actually relatively non-recent, isn't it? But they spend an average of 20% of their capital budget on research and development. Obviously, that would be slightly different in when you have, that's like a kind of general thing where that would be increasing in certain areas, and obviously budgets do change over the years. If there's a massive new virus, for example, that needs to be dealt with, then then obviously they'd have to deal with that there, and maybe increase their budget. But that's just the thing, that when pharmaceutical companies, if they want to deal with virus, or there's a massive competitor for any real companies, then there might be an increase in that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, that's the sort of thing you have. Research and Development Department is a source of ideas. Then you've got employee suggestions. An employee could use staff suggestions or run staff competitions and reward the best ideas. This could help develop an entrepreneurial culture within the business. For example, a certain marketplace company that we talked about just like back there features a virtual idea box on their internal website. That actually, if that's gone, apologies. That I apologize. That's no longer there. Anyway, so this is an example whereby sometimes companies, if companies want to offer a certain service, an add-on or whatever the case may be, and their idea isn't obvious to people developing the product, the idea isn't obvious to most people, then, you have obviously the thing where employees are working with the product and they oftentimes know the product better than the people who, make most of the money out of it. Which is, kind of an indication that maybe, they should be given more, view. They should be listened to more in that. And obviously, this is a very important area, because you will find this in some businesses. Some businesses will have this area where they will, a manager they won't listen to employee suggestions because they're arrogant and in some cases stupid in a business sense, because employee suggestions can really help, because a manager may know nothing about really how to come up with ideas. They might come up with a few ideas, but compare that to some of their employees, and they may be, employees can come up with loads of ideas that can be very successful relating to the product. And if you don't listen to them, the employee obviously may not actually get benefit out of this, which is a problem. But more than that, though, if you don't listen to this as a business, if you don't have this area, then you may lose out by quite a bit when you come to, developing products. Next, of course, you have sales personnel. Market research or feedback from sales representatives is a major source of product innovation and new product ideas. Sales representatives interact mostly with the customer and are able to observe common trends and habits. Floor staff in the department store might notice that people struggle to carry their bags and come up with a new home delivery option for consumers. And apologies for that, the noise there. So basically, this is the sort of thing that you have in businesses. And all the time, businesses really need to pay attention to internal ideas, because it's all well and good. External ideas do help, but internal ideas can be... they can benefit a lot more, because you've got, obviously, external ideas may not work. They may appear to work, but they may not work. When internal ideas, because the people internally are, they may be more connected with customers, or they may be more connected with the product, or they may be more connected with how the product is sold, or whatever place they are on the way the product is sold, the way the product is made, sold, and sent off to consumers, and then the consumers pay for it or beforehand. That sort of thing. If you've got people who are close to that, then that makes more sense to listen to them, because you should listen to them. Now, obviously, some businesses, do listen to consumers, and other businesses do not, which is foolish. And it's not just businesses, of course. You've also got, non-profits, and you've also got all sorts of organizations. So while this is talking about business, don't forget, this also works for multiple things. And also works for really, government institutions, all this sort of thing. For example, Google. Actually, that's not an example, but going on to the next thing, there's also, giving workers time to work on this sort of thing, as Google did. Says that they provide 20 minutes of their time so that workers can think of ideas that will benefit Google. To quote the company, "We encourage our employees, in addition to their regular projects, to spend 20% of their time working what they think will most benefit Google. This empowers them to be more creative and innovative. Many of our significant advances have happened in this manner. And that is an example of business really listening to that and, making quite a lot of money off of it. You could argue, of course, that, well, if certain ideas are ignored, then doesn't that breed a bit of a problem? And also, could you argue that really is it unfair to take someone's idea and say, well, no, you gave it to us, you're in the company, so you came up with the idea, you gave it to us, now we now own it, and then if a company cause this does happen, because while it is, you're like, for example, if you take this video and then you post it elsewhere, you are violating copyright. But if I worked for you and I created this video and you posted it and you earned loads of money off it, and then you gave me, just a general salary, then that would be a problem necessarily, you could argue, because it would be somebody else coming up with something and then you taking it and then using that. But I guess that is oftentimes what some businesses do. Anyway, join us next time when we'll be looking at the external ideas for a business. External ideas for a existing business. Join us then. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel or view other videos. It helps. I mean, the viewing of the videos kind of would help, obviously, but I mean the subscribing, it helps, but in a weird kind of a YouTube algorithm way, But so you can subscribe. Thank you. Yeah. If you're not, you can tune in next time. Bye.